Well, hey friends, welcome to today's Daily Cup of Encouragement. I am trying out something different today. Actually, I'm trying out a piece of equipment. I bought a tripod stand for my iPad to set up in my office or for things for meetings here. So I just thought as long as I was putting it together and setting it up, I would record today's video. But I've got to read it off my phone. So I will do the best I can to not make it too boring. Okay, maybe not. So here we go. Hey friends, do you ever wonder if you are doing enough, saying enough, promoting enough? Do you ever get tired of voices telling you that if you are not, and you fill in the blank, then you are part of the problem? I've got good news and bad news today. The bad news is that what I'm about to suggest to you is not easy. The good news is that it's not all that complicated. Micah 6:8 sums up a godly life this way. He has told you, O man, what is good. And what does the Lord require of you but to do justice, to love kindness, and to walk humbly with your God? 3 things. Do what's right, love what is kind, and consistently and humbly walk in step with God. It's not complicated, but it may take some recalibration, especially in the current climate. Here's the first step in recalibration. Be still and be silent. There is a silence that is passive, when you simply don't have anything to say. Honestly, I think a lot of the noise in our world is coming from people who don't have anything helpful to say but feel compelled to say something. There's also a silence that is active and intentional, when you deliberately choose to be silent so you can listen to God. That is the silence that recalibrates our lives. Francois Fenelon said, "Silence promotes the presence of God, prevents many harsh and proud words, and suppresses many dangers in the way of ridiculing or harshly judging our neighbor. Silence humbles the mind and gradually weans it from the world. It makes a kind of solitude in the heart." Intentional and purposeful silence for the purpose of listening to God in our circumstances creates room for God to recenter us on His purposes. It allows us space to see His perspective on justice and right behavior. It gives room to identify His perspective on kindness and mercy. It allows us to develop a humble confidence that we can respond to each situation led by His life at work in us rather than by the demands of someone else's agenda. Then and only then can we be freed from the pressure of saying, doing, or promoting enough and live into the precious, liberating grace of saying, doing, and promoting what's right and what points other people to Jesus. So here's a question. How will you choose the deliberate kind of silence for today, the rest of today? What is one thing you will refuse to do, say, or promote so that you are making room to hear from God? By the way, don't choose to refuse something that you likely wouldn't have done anyway. That's kind of cheating. Choose something that you would normally jump right into the middle of and take an intentional pause. Be amazing today, my friend.